Removing oil, heavy soil, scale or rust from a piece of metalwork can be tough. This is where industrial cleaning technologies come in handy. Immersion parts washers use degreasing and descaling compounds, and sometimes ultrasound, to literally shake off the muck. The machine agitates water mixed with industrial detergent to immerse mechanical parts in a whirlpool. A pneumatic lift mechanism moves the platform up and down inside the tank, while the water heats to 65 degrees Celsius. A robot loads stainless steel into a laser cutter, using suction cups to manipulate the sheet into place. The CNC cutter uses a 2,500 watt laser to cut the steel. Following a layout entered into a CAD system, it maximizes the number of parts made out of one sheet. The machine parts come out on an unloading platform, where they're visually inspected. The parts are then taken to a CNC folding table. The machine bends the metal to form the outside shell of the cleaner, also called the tank skin. This hydraulic bending machine makes flanges in the sheet metal to reinforce the tank walls and to provide a surface for welding. This metal forming technique can make various types of bend, allowing a series of parts to be produced to build multiple units. The machine parts are assembled on a welding fixture. Clamps hold the pieces in place, while they're welded using an electric MIG torch. This is a tricky job, because thin sheets of stainless steel are more susceptible to warping with the heat. The tank goes through a 24-hour leak test before it goes on to be painted with a hybrid epoxy and acrylic electrostatic powder coat. This combines the protective strength of epoxy and the resilience of acrylic. The tank is placed in a massive curing chamber, and the oven time and temperature are set. The baking process gives the powder coat a grainy, textured finish. The weld profiles get ground down, and the top tank walls are polished with fine grit paper. The lift arm is inserted into the tank. The bearing support mechanism is put in place and bolted onto the tank. One of the rollers that will support and guide the lift arm is installed. A drive shaft is driven through the bearings and tapped into place. The pneumatic cylinder that powers the lift arm behind the bearing support is installed and pinned on top of the lift arm. The agitator pump, with its 3/4 horsepower electric motor, is installed next to the bearing support. The fittings for the tank filter are then attached. These will allow the machine to evacuate the contamination from the cleaning solution. The platform is bolted onto the lift arm. Then a rack goes on the platform. It's made of grainy fiberglass to prevent the pieces from moving during the cleansing. The movement of the lift arm and the platform assembly is tested. The steel lid is then installed on the tank and attached to its hinge. The fit of the lid is checked. The connections for the heat and timer controls are made. The electric panel is then bolted to the side of the tank. The electric box is closed, and the final testing of the lift arm, the lid, and the agitator pump can proceed. The lift arm moves up, and the platform lifts clean parts out of the water. So there you go. Now I've finished dishing the dirt, my conscience is clean,